Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. So firstly, I think a few of you guys may be wondering, is this our announcement video? We are still waiting, so please keep an eye on our channel, subscribe, hit the notification button, and the moment we can let you guys know what our results are, we will be back on the channel to let you know. But the reason I'm doing this video tonight is we've actually had a notification tonight to say somebody has subscribed to our channel, and she's kindly messaged us and sort of explained that tomorrow is her first appointment. And I said to Jake, because I read every single message that I get, I'm really touched that I've got another subscriber and they're joining us on our journey. I've also subscribed. Her name is Our IVF Journey PM, so make sure you subscribe to her as well. Some of you guys may be at the same stage of your journey as her, so it'd be quite good to get a community together of people where we can follow each other and see how we're getting along on our journeys. But I just wanted to say and give a little bit of advice from how we felt on our first appointment, and sort of questions we asked, and yeah, just a quick run through really. It won't be a long video, but firstly, I mean, our first appointment was with our local hospital before we got referred to our main hospital. So I will go through both because I'm not too sure at what stage our IVF Journey PM is at. So our first one, after being referred by our GP, was to our local hospital. That day I had my BMI checked. They also went through my file. Now, previously Jake and I had ovarian drilling done for myself. I had natural miscarriages through natural pregnancy, and we just went through that within our file. At the time, I was told that I was borderline with my weight. I can't remember the weight for the hell of me, but I am a UK size 16, so I am a bit of a curvier girl. And because we were being funded by the NHS, I was told to keep within that bracket, otherwise we would be told that our treatment would be delayed. So that was our first appointment, and he also then went on to have a flick through the file and say to Jake and I, considering you've had the ovarian drilling, you've also taken Clomid, and there was another tablet, it wasn't metformin, but there was another one I took. He said, because you've had no reaction to that, we would say IVF is going to be the next step. So then we went to King's College Hospital, which is in London, South London. That's where we were told our treatment would take place. We had our first appointment there where we met a female consultant who went through similar to what the previous doctor had said, explaining that yes, obviously medication hadn't worked, ovarian drilling, they were quite shocked hadn't worked. But she did flick through our file a little bit more detail and explained that because my tubes were damaged from scarring from when my appendix burst as a child, that IVF would be the only option to secure a possibility of a pregnancy. So at that point we were asked to sign some forms. So we signed a form to say that we were agreeing to go ahead with the IVF. I was checked for my BMI again. I was also just within that bracket, so we were good to go, thank goodness. We also got told to confirm that we hadn't been in countries where we could get Ebola or Zika virus. And we had to sign those forms. I think I had an ultrasound. Yeah, I had an ultrasound as well, an internal one, just to see what my uterus looked like, what my ovaries looked like, my tubes. They didn't really report back to us. They just sort of took notes and updated my record. And at that point, we were told to go and wait back in reception. And then we were told we would speak to a nurse. So we were waiting for about half an hour. Then we got called back into a second part of our appointment, which was where we'd been told the funding had been agreed from our local hospital. They agreed to fund us. And we were told that we could start our cycle the following month. And that was probably due to admin with themselves. The longer I've been treated through that hospital, I understand that generally our cycles aren't always because our body's ready to go. Sometimes it is a numbers game. So if they've got X amount of patients on treatment, sometimes they might say, we'll give you to next month. But we can't complain because we've been fortunate enough to have it funded through the NHS. So we went through the list of medication I'd be given. At that point, they said that they would contact a pharmacy who would ring myself and Jake and arrange to deliver the medicine to our house. And we were given a rough estimation of when we'd be starting our treatment and was told that we would probably be looking around the following month. So I think the medication arrived about 2 weeks after that consultation. We did ask a lot of questions. So Jake asked, would I be safe? We asked about how many embryos you transfer. I think for myself, I was very naive in thinking that cycles of IVF were quite short. I didn't realise the length of time of sometimes people can be on medication. I would say perhaps do a little bit of research yourself to ask more questions. A friend of mine who also did IVF, her and I both felt on reflection, we now feel like we know quite a lot of what we've been through. But looking back at that first appointment for herself and me, we probably didn't have the right questions ready. So for us, it was like, okay, how many embryos can we have put up back in us? Well, it's all very well asking that, but who's to say you'll even get embryos through one cycle to the next? So, and then there's the examples that, I mean, Jake and I have had 2 failed cycles during this journey where I've taken the medication right up to the point I was expecting to have transfer the following week, and then was told, sorry, you're not responding, and had to cancel the cycles. There's friends of friends that I've had where their cycles have been cancelled completely because they had no embryos at a collection that survived to 3 days or 5 days. And it is a very testing process. But what I would say is that first appointment is the start of your journey. It should be a happy appointment. It should be something to look back on. I was really surprised how quick it went. How we'd waited quite a while for our appointment from King's, probably about a month, which is a long time when you just want to start having a baby. And looking back, when we went into that first appointment, it literally was like, right, let's get this sorted, let's get that sorted. And I would say, I mean, things could be different in America. It could be different if you're private. There could be arrangements for making your payment plans and things like that that we haven't fortunately had to do. But I would definitely go in there with perhaps a notebook and jot down some questions. I've always found for the majority of my appointments, I have walked out and thought, oh, bugger, I should have said this or I should have said that, or I end up emailing them or harassing them down the phone saying, oh, even the other day, they've changed my medication slightly and it was just the branding, and I'm straight away emailing them like, can I take this medication? And, you know, just never be afraid to ask, because each and every single cycle is important, and that could be the beginning of your journey. I would also say, don't worry about how many cycles you can afford or have. So like Jake and I, if I'm being completely honest, we couldn't afford to do this privately at all. it would come at a cost of probably losing our home, because we would have to take the money we've got out of our house, which would leave us with nothing probably. And we have been fortunate to have it funded, but I do think in the same breath, I probably obsessed about the funded cycles we had here in the UK. So, you know, I've put a lot of pressure on myself saying, I've got these 2 cycles that they've kindly funded, but if that doesn't work, then that's it, we've lost that opportunity. And I think that sort of stress can be quite detrimental on your body. So if, and this is particularly going out to you IVF Journey PM, because I'm sure I picked up on you saying that this is your cycle that you can afford to do. Don't make that your key focus point, just embrace it, because your body will pick up on stress. I know for myself that I've been quite stressed lately. Even today, I've not been in work. I've been really poorly. I've slept most of the day with a pounding headache, room spinning, and I know that I'm winding myself up, and actually I need to just take some breathing time and say, need to keep calm and roll with this. So I would say, yeah, just go in there prepared, enjoy it, ask as many questions as you want. Make sure your partner asks as many questions as they want. You know, you can ask things such as timescales, timeframes, whether you'll be on a short protocol, a long protocol, what they would recommend. Ask them about the medication they're going to put you on, so then you could do some research. I know I did a lot of research, especially when I went from my fresh cycle to my frozen. I wanted to know everything about buserelin when I first went onto it. And also I'd done a lot of research on Cetrotide for my fresh cycle that unfortunately got cancelled. So this cycle has actually been Cetrotide rather than buserelin. And I'd already done my research, so I knew what I'd be taking this time round. And I was very happy to take it on my cycle, because I'd done my research and I'd already experienced taking that medication. So, yeah, ask that sort of questions. Check what vitamins they recommend you to take. I know with my previous cycles, I've always just taken a normal pregnacare multivitamin. This time, I think it's from B&H in the UK here. I think it's Bargain. I don't even know what it's called. But Jake and I were away down South Coast, and we popped into this shop while we were away for a weekend, and it's a bit like a Wilkinson's type shop. And we were walking around, and I picked up the multivitamins, and these were different this time. Actually, I've got a box of them. But I really liked them because they've got fish oil, yeah, it's omega-3, plus the multivitamins. So this is the ones I am taking, and here, if you can focus, don't know if you can see that. If not, I'll take a picture. But yeah, I mean, ask definitely what multivitamins are expected. These that I take, I think they're an Australian brand, but they have got like my 200% folic acid. The fish oil is meant to apparently help with tiredness and fatigue. It's got a high amount of iron in it, 100% iron. Vitamin B1, it's got 300% in. This has got B1, B2, B3, B5, B6. Biotin, vitamin B12, vitamin C, vitamin D3. And I've got the calcium, copper, iodine, iron, magnesium, manganese. Apologies if I'm not saying any of these right. Selenium and zinc. So, and yeah, I bought batches of these to the point I've actually got too many of these boxes, so they're best before the end of next month, and I've got about another 3 boxes, but I won't be taking them. should this all go well. I just don't want to risk anything. So, but these were about £2 or £3 a box, where pregnacare could be like £15 in Boots. So definitely ask about vitamins. And yeah, any other questions, drop us a line. Good luck and speak to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.